What is up, farming family? How y'all doing today? Today, we're checking out the HUDEF 6.8 Pickleball paddle. It's part Kevlar, part carbon fiber, and it's got through-rod technology. I'm going to let y'all know what I thought about this. We're going to go over the specs. We're going to go over the control, the power. I'm going to let you, hear my brother's opinion. So stay tuned for that. And at the end of the video, if you enjoyed it, smack that like button. It helps me a lot. But let's get into this. The length of this paddle is 16.34 inches. The width is 7.64 inches. The thickness is 11 millimeters. Grip length is 5.71 inches. The grip circumference is 4.02 inches. It's lightweight, so it's 7.5 to 7.9 ounces. That's no joke. It's super lightweight. The material is Kevlar and carbon fiber finished. The shape is elongated. It's edgeless, and the paddle core is polypropylene. It says the skill level is beginner to pro. We're going to get into the rest of this review, and I want to discuss exactly how I feel about that. It's also got the 3D printed texture on there, so it's not going to rub away. But if you saw my EV1 review, you know kind of how I feel about the 3D printed texture. I'll go into that in detail here in a little bit too. Okay, when it came to the power of the 6.8, I felt like when you hit it in a sweet spot, the ball would just launch off of it. But then when you hit it anywhere except for like right in the middle of it, it would come off dead. It would go into the net. But then the next time you hit it, you would, launch it because you hit it perfectly in a sweet spot. I feel like this is one of the paddles where you can call it a power paddle, but it's only a power paddle towards the very center of the paddle. It has a very, very weak, sweet spot. When it comes to control, like I said, the sweet spot was sort of lacking. I don't know if the through-rod technology is causing that, but when it came to dinking and stuff, I would feel like if I didn't hit it right in the middle, the control, was way off. I would hit it in the net. Then if I hit it in a sweet spot, the next one would go launching. So there was no control. It was just a roller coaster altogether. Every time I made contact with the ball, I was like, oh gosh, am I a centimeter too far away from this sweet spot? Because out of all the paddles I've reviewed and tried, this one had the worst weak spot, the worst sweet spot that, I tried and I could experience firsthand. It didn't take me long to experience that at all. They have 3D printed textures, which is a permanent texture, but I don't really like the 3D textures because I feel like every time there's a 3D texture put it on, it's always really slippery. The head gravity, and I think it's the head gravity light, also have a 3D print spin is what it says on the paddle. That was the first high price paddle, that I purchased, and I like the shape of it and the heaviness of it, but the overall feel and the 3D grit was just rough. It was rough. No, it was not rough. It was slick. I did not like it at all. And I feel like this doesn't provide any spin either. If you want something with spin, you would probably need to go to a carbon fiber paddle or just something with spray-on texture. I know it's going to, wear off, but at least you'll have decent spin for a period of time. Maneuverability. This is the major upside or the only plus in my opinion of this paddle. It is super light, one of the lightest paddles I've ever felt. It is super thin, so obviously there's not going to be much to it. So when it comes to hand battles or moving it around, you're going to be quicker than everyone else. You might not get the ball where you want it to go, but you are definitely going to be quicker. Okay, I don't think this paddle is going to break, unless you snap it over your knee or something ridiculous like that. I feel like it's a pretty sturdy paddle, or at least it felt like a pretty sturdy paddle. I know the 3D texture is not going to degrade, but you all have already heard my opinion on that. So that's basically all I got to say, about the durability of this paddle. Yes, I use an overgrip. Okay, I use basically an overgrip on almost every paddle unless the handle is already, just massive and I feel like I can't put another one on it. The Rhombus 2.16 is a ping pong shaped one and it has a really big handle and I would not put an overgrip on that. But other than that, I put an overgrip on basically every paddle. And when it comes to this paddle, I would definitely add lead tape all the way around the edge. From the bottom, at the top of the handle all the way around to the other side. I felt like when I was swinging it, if the ball hit the edges, the paddle would want to rotate in my hand. And that got a little annoying. It only happened, I think, 2 times. but that was enough to make me go, whoa, okay, I got to do something about this. The company response time. This is what I, like about the company. I messaged them, and I'm sure they've seen other people's reviews and stuff on them, and they have the confidence to send out their paddle. There are raw carbon fiber paddle companies that I reached out to, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll send a paddle. And then I was like, I'm going to be doing a massive comparison video where I rank everybody's. And they instantly, there was, I think 2 of them that were like, no, we'll pass, or we'll pass for now. So I have a lot of respect for them sending their paddle, and being open to critiquing and not, trying to, persuade someone else's opinion. Because it's easy for a paddle company to be like, no, we don't want you to review it. And then they can just, sell paddles to people without reviews being on YouTube. And another thing I like about them is they're trying stuff that's outside the box. Okay, this paddle may not be for me and may not be something I'll recommend, but something in the future they make could be, the future innovation, and technology of pickleball. Because if we start bashing everything, these companies make that is, new, they could just stop trying to be creative and all of them just fall in line. And what we have for the next 10 years is raw carbon fiber paddles with no increase in technology at all. So I'm not completely, bashing this company or saying it's an awful company. I have a lot of respect for what they're trying to do. It is completely different than other companies. Their next paddle could be good. I just don't think this one was it, or not in my opinion. Okay, when it comes to the price, this is the worst part. Okay, it is like right at $200, and I feel that this is a $60 or $70 paddle, probably. Like I would recommend this to a beginner. Well, no, I can't say that. I would say this is a beginner paddle. I wouldn't say this is from beginner to expert like it said in the beginning. So the $200 price range isn't really warranted in my opinion.
What's up, y'all? And this is Jalen here with the review on the HUDEF 6.8. For me personally, the paddle did not feel great at all. The sweet spot was like super inconsistent. If you didn't hit it like right on the sweet spot, it just feels awful. It does have a lot of pop though when you do hit it with the sweet spot, which is also a positive and a negative depending on how you play. You do get good hand battles with it because the paddle is so light, but for the price and everything else about it, I really wouldn't consider buying this paddle.
But yeah, this has been my review of the HUDEF 6.8. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found this, insightful and it helped you and, helped you make a decision, smack that like button. It helps me a lot. I had to re-record this because the last audio, file was messed up. So if you made it, all the way through this again, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. As you can tell, I don't really script stuff. I speak, straight from my mind and from my heart because it's not going to be worded exactly the same. It's going to be a completely different video, but I'm going to be talking about the same stuff basically. But until next time, I hope y'all have a good day. Y'all stay safe. Oh yeah, I got Gearbox GBX review. I got the Gearbox CX14 Ultimate review coming. I got the Vatic Flash review coming. I've got the 6.0 Sapphire review coming. There's a lot more coming. Stay tuned. Peace.